Before Gito passed on, him and I talked a lot about doing a collaboration project together, and we never got around to doing that project. He featured on one of my songs on my first album, but that was it. So for me to even get closer to working with him or being in a project with him, I wouldn't have said no to that.
The big thing, I think, is, as Ian put it, he says Gito was open. He wasn't coming out of any bag, like a jazz bag or this bag or whatever. He was coming out of himself. And I think that's a very important thing for me,
His uniqueness was always a part of what he did, and he had a very strong presence as an artist, as a stage performer. I don't know anyone who ever saw Gito on stage, even if it was once, and it was only for 10 minutes. I don't know anyone who can't remember that moment.
I've always been amazed at how many musicians from Mozambique and even just people in general held Gito to high esteem just because of the print he made, having spent time in South Africa and carried that voice, sang in his mother tongue, and was very proud of who he was. And on the South African side of things, people looked at this guy who's not from around, but he had such confidence in doing what he did.
He sang in Portuguese in Shangaan. You'd go and see Gito perform or Tananas perform, and there was a whole audience out there of people who were not Portuguese and were not Shangaan. There were a whole lot of radio stations out there that were like white rock radio stations, black jazz radio stations, and they were playing Gito's music.
The extraordinary thing for me was that he never stopped to think about the lyrics or write them down. He'd just sing them out of his head, off the top of his head, in a rehearsal, and that would be it. That's the lyrics, I guess he'll always be in my heart. I spent a lot of time with the guy, and we shared a lot of moments and music and traveling. For me, he's not gone away,
He did some very important things. Perhaps some of them were even before their time in a way. He felt very strongly that he didn't like borders and passports and ID books and all that kind of stuff. He felt that wasn't necessarily something that gave us opportunity. It just gave us more chains to wear,
Gito's contribution to the music industry is quite an important one as well in breaking down the walls that separate us. And it's a prayer of my heart that one day we'll get to that point where we just eliminate these unnecessary walls. And that is the mission that we are on with this project. Again, just to let people see that it is possible for us to live and interact as a people.
Papa.